Hey, everybody. Good to be with you. We are almost about to end a year. Can you believe it? So, a lot of people talk about setting goals at the end of the year, or the beginning of the new year. And so I'm going to give a little different twist on that. I'm going to talk to you about setting ADHD-friendly goals for the new year. Now, if you don't have ADHD, that's fine. It still is helpful because a lot of us do get distracted easily, whether we have ADHD or not. Just drink my water here. Sorry. So, hi, everybody. I'm Cindy Baker. If you don't know me, I am a speaker and a coach, productivity coach. I'm a specialist in ADHD. And I help busy, distracted entrepreneurs overcome overwhelm and really hone in on their focus, manage their time so they can grow their business. And so today's training is setting ADHD-friendly goals for the new year. So if you are jumping on here live, please say hi in the chat. Let me know where you're tuning in from. And if you're watching on the replay, let me know that as well. So if you're here, you probably have a busy, distracted brain, or maybe you know somebody that does. Excuse me. Maybe you've tried setting goals in the past and ended up overwhelmed, frustrated, feeling like you just couldn't stick to the goals. I'm not a big New Year resolution fan, but I do think goal setting is helpful. So let me tell you right now, you are not alone and you're not broken. Your brain may be just wired a little differently. And that's something that we're going to work with, not against. We're going to work with our brain and the way it's wired. So by the end of the training, you're going to have some maybe tips that you haven't heard of before and some ADHD-friendly strategies to help you set and actually stick to your goals in the new year without the usual stress and burnout. I'm sorry, I'm having something weird going on with my throat, like in the past month. So sorry about that. But here's the thing, traditional goal setting, I don't think really works for ADHD brains. So whether you have a diagnosis of ADHD or not, if you have that type of brain where you get bored easily, you get distracted easily, that type of thing, traditional goal setting probably doesn't work. Because most traditional goal setting advice, like SMART goals or sticking to rigid routines, they assume that everyone's brain processes information the same way. But ADHD brains are naturally drawn to novelty, creativity, and that dopamine hit, immediate rewards. So long-term abstract goals, not so much. So there are several reasons that traditional goal setting doesn't really work for ADHD brains. One is it's boring. We meaning people with ADHD, because I have that, we need a sense of excitement or novelty to stay engaged. Another reason is it's too linear. Our brains don't always follow step-by-step plans. We're wired for zigzags and creative detours. Another reason is it's overwhelming. Big, vague goals like get healthy. I'm going to get healthy in the new year, or I'm going to start a business. That can paralyze us with decision fatigue because those are big and there's a lot of moving parts involved. So let's look at the alternative. And the alternative is ADHD-friendly strategies. First, think about setting anti-boring goals. Instead of focusing on traditional goals, ask yourself what feels exciting, fun, or meaningful. Because ADHD brains, a lot of entrepreneur brains, thrive on dopamine, and that's that feel-good chemical. And when you link your goals to something that gives you a dopamine boost, then you're more likely to follow through. So let me give you an example. Instead of saying, I'll exercise 3 times a week, instead say, I'll try a new dance class this month, or I'll join a group hike and explore a cool new trail. Make it about curiosity and fun, not discipline. So I know some people create a goal jar. They got small, exciting challenges that align with their bigger objectives. So they put them on little pieces of paper in a jar, and then they pull one out when they need inspiration. So you might want to try that. I personally have not tried the gold jar. I'm just telling you, I've heard about it. So, second strategy, time chunking, not time blocking. Nothing wrong with time blocking. I've used time blocking and it works. But in time blocking, to do it the way you're supposed to schedule every minute of your day, including downtime. And that can feel like a straitjacket for ADHD brains. So instead, try time chunking. That's when you dedicate chunks of time, like 90 minutes, to focus on a specific category of tasks instead of just one specific task. And then to make it work, you use timers to keep yourself on track. You don't overstructure, but you keep yourself on track. So, excuse me. Instead of saying, I'll write my entire blog post at 10 a.m., you say, from 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m., I'll work on creative tasks. And then you just let your energy guide you within that time and make sure you're doing things you need to be doing, but you don't have it ultra structured. So that might be something that you try. Third strategy is, this is a mantra that my coaching clients know very well because I say it all the time, and that is done beats perfect. So it's the power of the done is better than perfect. Perfectionism can be a huge trap, especially for entrepreneurs and especially for people with ADHD. Instead of aiming for perfect outcomes, focus on completing things in a way that's good enough for now. So you get comfortable with the good enough. And I know that's a learning curve for a lot of people. But the thing is, if it's better to get something out into the world that's 90% perfect than to not get it out into the world because you're waiting on the perfect conditions or working on it so long that it's too late, because probably nobody but you is going to notice that 10%, So create a B+ list. Write down tasks and intentionally aim for good enough results instead of an A+. It's a B+. It's good, but it's not perfect. And then reward yourself for finishing. I mean, this is going to sound weird, but reward yourself for finishing a messy first draft. Reward yourself for doing an imperfect workout or a first attempt at something, because all of that's part of the process, and the completion creates momentum. And then you get moving and you're closer and closer to that perfection, but you're not letting it hold you back. So strategy number 4 is to build in reset days. ADHD brains often hit burnout because we're like all or nothing people. So plan for reset days in your schedule. These are days where you can like pause, reassess your goals, and tweak your systems, clean out something, organize, be creative. It removes that guilt of, falling off track, because it allows you to adjust based on what's working or what's not working. You can even set like a monthly reminder to do a mini goal audit and then celebrate progress, even if it's small. Go back and look, how far have you come? And do that every month. All right, strategy number 5, use visual cues and trigger tools. Out of sight, out of mind. That's a real challenge for ADHD brains. That's why I work with so many people to get rid of all those piles of paper they have everywhere, because they're afraid they're going to forget something or lose something if it's not out in sight. So make your goals impossible to ignore. Make them visible. Create a vision board with images and sticky notes, and use physical triggers like put a yoga mat where you'll see it if you're gonna, if you want to remind yourself to do that. Use digital reminders tied to your favorite apps. Write your goals on an index card or sticky note and put them out where you can see it. You can even have a buddy system when it comes to goals, like a friend or a coworker, and you share update dates weekly with the phone or text or voice memo. Instead of written updates, you verbalize. So it has to be something that you can hear, and that boosts accountability. So I said text, not written text. I mean like a voice memo. You have to embrace progress over perfection, Because here's the bottom line: your goals don't have to look traditional, linear, or perfect. They just have to work for you. So with a little creativity and a lot of self-compassion, you can set yourself up for a successful ADHD-friendly new year, whether you have ADHD or not. Entrepreneur brain, creative brain. I'd love to hear what resonated with you. Think about what goal setting strategy are you most excited to try? Maybe there's something you hadn't thought of. Drop that in the comments or send me a DM. And if you found this helpful, be sure to follow me, like the posts, like the video, subscribe, all the things to get more productivity tips. And stay tuned, because I do have some exciting trainings and workshops coming up, and I think you're really going to enjoy those. So let's make this year the one where you thrive. You're not just hanging on there, but you're actually thriving. So thanks for joining me. And here's to a fantastic new year. Thanks.